Famous stand.
Salah to settle it in front of the Kop.
Hello, good morning, and welcome back to the Kop TV. Yes, love that energy, brother. Episode 48, we're coming up to our half century. So make sure that you like the video.
Just think where it started.
I know, bro.
Or where did it start? In your
My old flat.
In your old flat, and then
Around
we went
the table.
Shout out to Jurgens. That was a beautiful era as well.
Yeah,
big up to Jurgens.
Yes, brother. Mario here, James here as well with myself, AGT. Big up to everyone who's listening to us on Spotify now. We are officially on Spotify.
For sure.
You can hear us as well as see us. We're going to actually try and get our videos on Spotify soon as well. But big up to everyone that's tuned in, whether you're live on YouTube or you're with us on Spotify.
Must be a nightmare just hearing my voice and not my face to go with it. You'll be like,
you got the video.
What's this noise? One of these frequencies that's going on in my brain. Speaking of frequencies, we need to speak about the frequently great Klobber.
That's true.
Well,
brilliant segue that, James. Your presenting game is getting a lot better.
What can I say, bro? You learn from the best. Shout out to Flux as always. Kop TV 15% to get any Flux item that you want with 15% knocked off. And we all know in times like these, it's never a bad thing to save a Paquito bit of money. Did you like the way I implemented a bit of Spanish? And obviously caps.
You've been what you like we said. You just haven't taken that hat off.
Yeah, but even like now, me trim, lad, trim. Not looking too shabby, Alonso. In my opinion, I reckon I'm looking quite custy.
Shabby Alonso.
But do you know, if I was having a bad day, Mario, I can trust this Flux clap very, very finely, and I'm very happy to do so.
Yeah, man. Big up to Jack Fincham as well. He's part of the Flux family. I did a piece that I think is coming out later today.
Lad.
He's a good lad. He's a good mate.
He's like one of the few people that I've got. I don't mind Love Island, by the way. I think it's just like one of those shows people go on it. But he's one of the people that I've got offered, and I think, you know what, lads, your sound.
But yeah, he's part of the Flux family. We did a piece of content on Sunday, which should be out today before his fight at the weekend. And he was a boxer before Love Island.
Amateur? Listen, lads. I think he said he had 30 fights at amateur boxing. That's no joke, my brother.
I think we all hope here from our Flux guys that he wins. And yeah, Flux is all around the city, as you can see everywhere. If you go to a game these days, it's one of the main brands you're going to see for match goers. So make sure that you get involved using the link in the description. Big up to everyone in the live comments already. I see Ruby in there, Des TV saying miss you.
Hello, Ruby.
Rhubarb, mate.
Ruby, my little sis.
Because lads, I've been speaking in a London accent for like ever since.
Have you just watched Top Boy or something?
Nah, I've been doing previews with expressions.
The Netflix one, yeah.
Been doing previews and post matches with expressions. Lad been making sure that he knows the score. We've had a few verbal altercations in recent times. And it's all love. Yeah, it's all love, but he deserved the pamming after the game.
Oh, for sure. And we'll get on to that. I was actually with Expressions on Friday in London, giving him some stick. I was actually with Ruby on Sunday watching the game with Doyle in DR.
You smashed it, by the way.
Thank you, bro. Me and Ruby went to have a great Korean meal after. So big up to Ruby for that experience.
Big up to the bar.
It's great to see. Right. So much stuff has happened, right? Wow. Should we just go chronologically? We'll touch on Tottenham, and then we'll touch on what's happening this week. I mean, it's like everything's happening this week.
We'll just start lightly on the show for those who are just coming into the stream and whatnot. We are going to get into the FSG stuff and a bunch of other things. That's for sure. Real Madrid as well. But Spurs, I think, is a really good place to start.
Yeah, so happy with the result.
Absolutely.
I was so fuming until the 90th minute. Like, until that 90th minute went off, I was just like...
Oh, yeah. Was it more nerves? You weren't fuming? Because I was really nervous last 15 minutes. By the way, you've got a big bit of hair there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I saw.
Where?
On the left side.
I think it might have been done.
Do you know what's mad?
Big up.
I felt that earlier.
It's probably from your beard.
I thought I got rid of it. But either way, I was going to ask... my sort of thing was... I thought we were conceding a lot of chances, but what I appreciated is that we really did defend as much as we possibly could, to the point where all their chances were nullified, either saved, wide, hit the bar post, a little bit of luck.
We did get lucky though. Do you think?
I think we had the whole control during the game.
All of it?
Probably not probably last 15, 20 minutes we conceded something, but I don't know. I had that sensation during the whole game that I was sure that we're gonna win that game. Don't ask me why. Me too. Sometimes it's that the Tottenham definitely they create chances, even dangerous chances to score, because they play at home. Tottenham is a good team, of course. It's not a ever team. Tottenham always been a good team. So, but because we control the game since the first minutes, and Darwin Núñez, he played. I really enjoyed Darwin Núñez. Probably first time that he played very, very well. Like as a performance, like the overall performance defensively, he gave assist to Salah. He probably create like 5-6 chances to score.
The greatest 4-yard assist I've ever seen, by the way.
Yeah, great awareness there.
Wow.
Because normally he would have shot there. But
Exactly.
to look up and see Salah in a better position.
That's
Exactly.
like, okay, so what didn't I do
Massive.
last
That's
time?
your
I didn't
all-round
look up
game
and I
improvement.
didn't pass forwards, and this time I'm going to do that. I thought he had a really, really, really exciting 20 minutes or so to the game. I thought after that, not just him, the whole team, I thought just stepped off just a smidge. I think Spurs were allowed a little bit more control back on the game, and especially think in the second half. If you think about a team that had pressure, it was them. Now, I saw things about injuries from Spurs fans, and I'm just not having none of that. They were taught, what were they saying? Son, who's been out of form anyway, and Richarlison. We've had Jota and Diaz, established forwards for Liverpool. There's a Son is as well, but he's been in crap form. These two are massively important to our team, just as, if not more important than those two players, and they were out. Not to mention, and then Tottenham fans started bringing up to me half-fit players. Oh, but Kulu was only half-fit. This player was only half-fit. It's like, hang on a minute. Half of our squad's half-fit. Thiago's half-fit all the time. Oxlade-Chamberlain's 25% fit on the bench. He's just there because he has to be. So I weren't having none of the excuses. We won because we took the chances we needed to take, and they didn't. And that's all that matters, because, you know, if it was vice versa and they got them, they'd be saying the exact same thing.
Yeah. And I think when that full-time whistle went, just the relief.
Oh,
you
massive.
texted me straight away saying, my brother, first away winner of the
And you
season.
still didn't answer.
Well, I'm here with you now, bro.
I'm joking, bro.
No, I was not putting me
Put me on smash in front of the live viewers.
Not good for me.
No, listen, massive result. First away win of the season. Mo Salah takes his tally now to 171 goals in 274 games. That's not even including assists, by the way.
It's just the way he keeps
going. But he's
going.
now the second all-time leading goal scorer after Steven Gerrard.
I just don't get how he just keeps going.
In the Champions League, you mean?
Boys, how is someone that alien like to where they can just keep going? Keep being so relentless, because you know, when from January he obviously hasn't been like his I think what really hindered Mo Salah was how good he was before January.
Before
January, to even say that. How can that hinder?
We missed the real Salah from January to May to the final in
like that, exactly. And then even
the real Salah,
the start of this season, the very, very start, like everyone was, but just the fact that he's still getting those numbers, and just how much or how important it is to emphasize what he means to us, because he is genuinely like an elite player when it comes to those big games. He is the Lewandowski in our team. He is the Luis Suarez in our team. And I'm not talking about player for player. I'm talking about the efficiency that he brings. And there's very few. You see in Haaland doing it for City now. There's very few players who can do it like him. And it's just a big, big shame how underrated he is, because he really should be classed as Premier League great, Liverpool greatest, maybe, if he keeps doing this for another season or two. And I really mean that. He's totally not far off being the greatest for me.
I mean, the numbers don't lie, guys. When you have played just shy of 300 games and you're a striker, let's say you were a really, really good striker.
Yeah.
The best you could hope for, they always say 1 in 2, right? So let's say he scored 150. To say that he's played less games than 300 and has scored over 150, around almost pushing the 200 mark. It's just numbers that we might see with Haaland, if I'm honest. But as a Liverpool fan, obviously we had the Torreses, the Suarez. They scored 82 goals each.
Always going to get an outlet that was going to get mega goals. They were always
and they will.
We don't get that same guarantee. It's not.
So
like
that's why, with the new contract, with the new form that he's in, I think it's 14 goals now this season.
Wow.
Why aren't
even in a crap season?
Even in a crap season,
14 goals, monstrous that is.
Why are we not praising him as much as maybe? Is it because I don't know what it is.
Recency bias based on, we're in a world where everyone's on TikTok, and that including myself. Therefore, naturally, humans develop a more short attention span. Humans also develop a conscious. It's like Trent. So, I remember him doing a mistake 4 months ago. Haven't watched him since, and he's done a mistake again, and that's all I'm going to remember. Or you'll see 2 consecutive Twitter clips or whatever. It's just a natural thing. And with Salah, he falls on the short end of that as well, because he's a player week in, week out who will get you. What is it now? Like 5 goals in his last 4 games. I don't know what it is, but something absolutely ridiculous. And people will just be like, oh, but he's this, or but once it's just like there's always a new thing for people to hate Mo Salah.
People always try to see the bad side, of the things. And Mohamed Salah, he's probably one of best players in the. Probably is the best player in the last 5 years. Why not? Yeah. And he knows that all the supporters we love him. We've got a massive respect for him, and I don't think he's probably underrated. Not from Liverpool supporters, he's underrated like from like
neutrals.
From neutrals, exactly. They can see that the class of Mohamed Salah, because he's a pure class, and especially at the moment he's not playing his best football, but he's still scoring. What means that he's a proper world class player.
Yeah,
and of course.
No, Mario, I think you've hit it nail on the head. Is there anything else you want to touch on for the Spurs game before you head in the comments?
For me, I mean, the speed of the first goal. So Salah basically starts it and then finishes it off. If you watch the goal back, he chips it into the midfield, reclaims the ball, gives it to Robertson. Great cross in from him. And Darwin Núñez, what a touch, what a layoff for Salah. But then it's the speed of the finish. Like, Lloris is looking at the ball in the back of the net before he's even been able to set himself to try and save the shot. The first touch was unbelievable. The second touch was the finish. And listen, yes, it was a massive mistake by Eric Dyer.
Capitalised,
but you have to capitalise and you have to score. You've got to be clinical.
We made mistakes that Perisic couldn't take.
Exactly.
And when he was running through on goal, and I don't know about you guys, I was watching it with Ruby and Doyle. We knew he would score that, and it wasn't an easy finish. Lloris has come out he's dinked it. Salah normally goes hard and low.
Yeah.
But to actually dink it, that was very Messi-esque. That finished, I think.
Would that class as an assist for Alisson?
Because
it's not an assist.
No, it's like a pre-assist for him.
Yeah.
But it's not far off. Like, Alisson is pushing
only because
Sancho's numbers here.
I've saw deflective passes being given as assist before. So obviously I don't know the
boys. This is not deflected. This is a different pass, different action.
Yeah.
So it's not Alisson assist, definitely.
Yeah. But listen, everyone's buzzing about
absolutely.
That game.
It was a must-win. It was a must-win.
And we won.
And the credible things, guys, is we didn't win like away game for 7 months. 6 months since May. Since May.
Which one was it?
Southampton. We watched together.
No way.
We watched together in your old flats. You remember?
Was it then?
I'm just glad that we're all coming to that. I think everyone's finally adjusting the expectations as a fan base, because I think now, like everyone saw, we still didn't play great yesterday, but we've done enough to get the win. We're going to be happy about that when we know that we've been in bad form. I'm glad about that. I'm glad that Liverpool fans are now saying, you know what, I wouldn't mind top 4, and it's not going to be going against Jurgen Klopp. Yeah. That's why I've been telling everyone, be careful with the expectations, because if you hold Liverpool to a league-winning standard and then we finish 4th, who's the man who gets the blame? Because it's not going to be the players, because they're the biggest assets to the club. It's not going to be the owners, because it's their club. It's going to fall down to the manager. So I'm just happy that everyone's doing that, because Jurgen is... Oh, I love that man, and I don't want to get into a thing about it again.
Jurgen is our god, mate. Come on.
Yeah, massive win. I mean, looking back at the highlights, maybe a bit lucky as well with the Alisson header onto the post, the Perisic one that hit the bar. But anyway, we got the win. We moved on into the new week, and we found out that we yesterday have got Real Madrid again in the Champions League. We had Raul on last night. So go back and watch that video. That's our reaction to the draw. But I mean... Because I asked Raul, who do you want? And he said, not Liverpool. Definitely not Liverpool. Raul said this as a Real Madrid fan.
Oh, Raul.
Not Raul Gonzalez.
Not Raul Gonzalez Blanco.
No.
The Spanish.
Just casually
watch the Kop
not
TV.
him.
Just saying like another Tuesday.
You wish that is him, yeah.
But he's a great lad, Raul. I know you've spoken about him in the past, but if you met him, you'd see he's a good lad.
Definitely not. You know, he had the interview before the final. He's been a bit arrogant.
Yeah.
Oh, for that reason, I'm.
But Real Madrid, guess what the score was?
If he's your mate, it's definitely nice fella.
Boxing match.
Yeah. But you know what? Are you up for going to Madrid for that game?
Going to Madrid?
You want to go to Madrid for the game?
I wish. Let's say like this.
Yeah.
I wish. Yeah.
Let's go. I think we should try and go.
Or with tickets.
Yeah. So Raul said last night that he didn't want Liverpool. He's scared of Liverpool, and that he's
scared of us.
Yeah. He didn't want us. He did not want us. I'm telling you now. If you want to see more about that, go over to the Kop TV and watch that video after.
Do you reckon that's the European heritage coming into a factor? Yeah. Because I did a video yesterday, right? And I explained it like the wildlife, like the wild western jungles and shit, where there's buffaloes, there's lions, and there's a hierarchy of animals, and we're about like 3, 4, somewhere around there, you know, and Real Madrid are the king of the jungle. Now, if you catch the king of a jungle, one man's up, and then you've got a 4-man army, and you just overload them, then boom, you can easily get rid of the king of the jungle, but you've got to catch him at that right moment. I think in a season where we've beat nothing but the big teams, it's going to easily be the biggest game of the season. There's no expectation for us to win at all. We haven't beat them since 2009. when we beat them 5-0 on aggregate, which Jamie Carragher so politely brought up to Verge. I thought genuinely, I want that because I would much rather, because based on this season's form, would you put it out of the realm of possibility that Porto or Benfica could knock us out? Unlikely. But don't you think that's a possible
Benfica
thing?
haven't lost a game this season.
Benfica this season is an unbelievable
fire right now.
So it's possible that they could have beat us, and that would have been very underwhelming. I'm sure that we could all agree we got knocked out by Benfica. Sure. So how about we either go out in style or we win in style? It's one of those things, but either way,
but it is so early. That's the thing. It's the round of 16. This is
we're gonna play in 3 months, guys. This game in 3 months, and Liverpool will be a completely different team from now. Yes. I'm pretty sure about that. We're gonna get back players like Jota, like Diaz. Probably we get someone in January in the markets, in the transfer market. Probably, I don't know.
Who knows what could happen?
So in 3 months, it's going to be completely different Liverpool, and we're going to play a massive game because I know that we're going to be a better team than the first half of the season. Of course, if someone asked me which team do you pick up yesterday, of course, I would say Porto. Because the last 5 years we play against Porto, we won like 5-0, 4-1. You know, it's been probably the easiest opponent we had in the past 5 years. But I'm happy to get Real Madrid because Real Madrid is, I don't know to speak even like a revenge, another revenge.
Venganza.
Exactly. The third revenge after the final, 2018, the last final May.
I still never specified when he wants a revenge.
The final last in Paris, it's still here for me. I still didn't like, how you say, like, I didn't get it. Yeah. I didn't get it. For me, that defeat was embarrassing. We didn't deserve to win. So, and if you put in the lockdown season, we play Real Madrid. We got beat 3-1 in Madrid. Yeah. So it's like 3 times we faced them and we lost. This time is hopefully the time that we showed balls and we got, massive balls.
Yeah. So do you know what? Real Madrid were unbeaten last night, but then Rayo Vallecano beat them 3-2 last night in La Liga.
Doesn't mean nothing.
Of course it doesn't mean nothing, but at this stage, we'll take it.
Absolutely, I will. Absolutely.
We'll take that. Let us know in the comments what you think. We've got a couple of comments here.
What a pathetic team.
We've got Falcao up front still.
After
yeah, man.
Is Falcao still kicking about?
Big up to Hansen Lawrenson. We can defo beat Madrid. We're all over them at times in Paris. Yes, we lost, but only narrowly. Wish we played them at Anfield in the second leg as we would have had more of an advantage. Big up to Fraser from Fazach.
Fuck them in the first leg.
Absolutely. Exactly. A mad 16 draw, says Andy. And DJ Shenanigan telling us we need to stop speaking over each other. So we will do that.
Oh, guess what, bruv? We'll do whatever we want. Right, let's criticism door.
I mean, there's so many things. Yeah, big up. There's so many things to talk about. Let's the hot Kopics today are. I'm going to list them, then we'll dive into them. We're going to talk about Sadio Mane missing Liverpool. We're going to talk about apparently we're in pole position to get Jude Bellingham. We're going to talk about FSG apparently allegedly wanting to sell the club.
Can we start there?
And also Bobby Firmino not in the Brazil squad. Let us know in the comments. What should we start with? Let's ask them.
Let's start on the FSG one. FSG. Come on, they all want to know.
They're all here for that. They're all here for that.
That's like a mad thing. A mad thing. Yeah. So here's my perspective.
What was your reaction to that when you first saw it yesterday?
So I'm a little bit just confused. I saw your video that you posted on the Kop TV Instagram, which explains it a lot better for me. But as the original headline I saw is FSG want to sell or put Liverpool up for sale. That's the first headline I saw from David Ornstein, James Pearce retweeting it and whatever have you. So in my brain, I'm thinking, whoa, they want to sell them before, because we've had in the past where we've had minority shareholders getting involved with the club. You mentioned LeBron James as a prime example. So is this... But the question I want to ask, because my first interpretation is they're definitely selling the club. Turns out that's not the case. They're just open to investors and open to the possibility. So they haven't ruled out selling the club, but they also are very...
Because they remain fully supportive and committed to Liverpool.
But is that just until a bigger investor comes in or until a new owner comes in? Because it's the way they worded it was remain committed. Of course, until... Why would they just throw the bags away now and not care about Liverpool? Just because they're looking for new investors. So my question really is, are we looking for minority shareholders, majority shareholders, both? Or are we looking for new owners? And they're
I think it's a bit of everything. I think if the right person let's just get this straight. The highest bidder is going to win that. Yep. Whether you're Qatari, Saudi Arabian, American, it doesn't matter. And that's where I think us as fans feel like we should have at least some say in this process. Now, I agree with you. When I saw that, it's black and white. Liverpool up for sale. You saw all the Instagram posts. Liverpool up for sale. Up
it was
for sale.
weird the way it was.
But then the opposing statement comes out that says, no, we're not up for sale. We're looking for investors, shareholders, and we will remain fully committed to the club. Now, massive contradiction, really. It creates a lot of confusion within the fan base. So the question is, what do they want? Do they want to sell? Do they want to bring more money in? If they can make someone like a LeBron James, just for example, put more money into the club, does that allow us to go back into the transfer market and maybe get a couple more midfielders in time to face Real Madrid in February and March? Does it mean that they want to sell to the highest bidder, which they would never say no to? If someone came in, let's not forget, by the way, they bought the club for 300 million. They can now sell the club for 5 billion, which is a markup of maybe 200%. I mean, it's
even
probably
more.
It's more.
Even more.
Which, in terms of, is that good business for them? That's unbelievable.
That's
business.
unbelievable
for
business.
10 years.
Not
That's in 12 years. That's an incredible turnover.
Incredible.
But the thing that Liverpool fans need to know is we can't. I mean, again, is there any clean multi-billionaires in the world? We don't know. But you said it yesterday. The Liverpool way isn't to bring in the oil money. Isn't to do a Man City or a Newcastle, a Chelsea, even a PSG. That's not our way. Now, are we going to have to throw away our own morals? Are we going to have to just basically accept what FSG do for us? Because they've got our future in their hands right now. And Mario, what do you think? Do you think it's good news? Is it bad news? Because relatively speaking, they have been a safe pair of hands. They haven't invested as much, but they have been a safe pair of hands so far, I would say. What do you think of the situation?
Yesterday, when I read the news about the selling, I was like, same like James, like confusing. I didn't know what to think, because when they took us in 2010, we had too many debts, and after the George Gillett and Tom Hicks. So in 12 years, they did too much for our team, and we have to appreciate that. They are not Liverpool supporters. For them, Liverpool is not like for us. For us, Liverpool is a passion, it's a love, it's everything. For them, it's just business, and I understand that. In point of view that probably they could spend something more because they love the profit. You know, the perfect example is selling Coutinho for 140 million and buying Van Dijk and Alisson for exactly the same money. So they didn't spend nothing in that transfer market. And from point of view that, of course, I wish. I don't want any like Arabic, like any sheikh or stuff like that, because this is not Liverpool culture. It's not Liverpool tradition. We've got a massive heritage, and it's not the way we make business. But I would like someone who spent a little bit more.
But
I don't know.
That's where it gets dicey, don't Mario? Because Liverpool fans are saying, well, we want money.
But we want it to be clean.
A lot of money,
but spent like a bit more than, making. Don't think just about the profits. Because they are businessmen, they're not supporters.
But
I
Mario,
would say again.
You know all these ins and outs that you want, it limits it down to a very select few people who are in that position to take
because
over Liverpool.
I think the future of Liverpool is for someone who really cares about Liverpool as everything, as a structure, as a culture, as a tradition. I don't want to change name of Anfield in 10 years, like from Anfield to Emirates or wherever. I don't know that. I don't want that. And even the Kop, everything, and the prices of the tickets, I want to keep the same prices, because football is for everyone. It's not. I know at the moment in the last 10 years, football is just business. Come on, this is the truth. Oh, yeah, it's just business. It's just business. Everybody tries to make money with football, and this is what is it? Of course, it's a modern football. Unfortunately, I don't like that. For that reason, we are a bit like different. We make success with probably with less money. We make success because we had Jurgen Klopp, and he made miracles in the last 5 years with not like too much money to spend. If you compare with Man City, if you compare with Paris Saint-Germain, now Newcastle, the same situation. So I would like to see someone who really cares about Liverpool, and I don't want to shake someone from Qatar or stuff like that.
I can promise you, whoever
I'm not a racist. I want to say I'm not a racist,
obviously,
of course.
We know that, bro.
But it's against Liverpool tradition. So
no, I get what you're saying. I get like you want an owner who does it a specific way and whatnot. I just think you get dicey when you want someone who's got more money than FSG.
Exactly.
It's very impossible, or not impossible. think it's very difficult, though, to get someone who aligns to all the cultures of the football
impossible,
club.
really.
It's
just hypocritical.
Really is the best way to describe it. It's impossible. So whoever it is, if we do get new owners, which I'm not even sure if we're going to get new owners, but if we do, regardless where they stand, there's a load of shit going on right now. You'd have Roman Abramovich at Chelsea, you've got City's owners, Newcastle's owners, all these rich people have got seedy shit going on with their lives. It's just something that, as a fan, you need to just try and stay in love with football for the reason you fell in love with it. Connect to the players, the manager, and try and have that as your thing. But obviously, as YouTubers and content creators, we're going to talk about these things. Would you prefer, let me ask it this way, are you FSG in or out?
I'm kind of neutral in the situation. And I say the relatively safe hands because we've not really had financial issues or problems like we did before FSG
How's the fence that Alex
came
is sitting on there, chat?
No, I've got splinters.
In the comments.
I've got splinters on this fence that I'm sitting on, but maybe that's a bit of both. We were saying that we want someone with this and this. It's impossible. But I think what we have got right now, and listen, I'm not for 1 second allowing them to get away with the lack of investment. That's why I'd be more open to more shareholders, if that makes sense. But we've heard that Goldman Sachs, we've heard that JP Morgan are putting together the proposal to sell the club. I've heard that they've apparently spoken to Qataris in June, allegedly. So it's about finding the right person. But I wouldn't be too happy to see them go in a way because, yes, the lack of investment is a big thing and we should talk about that and it needs to get better. But look at when they came and saved us. And I say saved us, we were weeks away from going into administration.
Bankrupt, yeah. Bankrupt.
So they came in, 300 million. They've turned us around into Champions League, Premier League winners. Obviously, most of that is down to Jurgen Klopp. No one can deny this man has
probably
not
90%.
90%, I would say.
They appointed him. If you employ,
yeah,
but they saved us in 2010.
So yeah, if you employ Jacob to do your podcast and we get the level of podcast that we do on a week-to-week
then
basis,
we've got to thank Jacob.
We've got to thank Jacob, but that means we've made a good decision by coming here.
So you have to commend FSG for that. Now,
of course you do. Obviously,
we're all so stressed about the lack of money, etc., etc. They can invest. I don't want to hear this. We can't invest. Because we can. We have got the money to do it. However, this process now, and I think the original statement that came out from Ornstein yesterday, and then the one after it from FSG, do you think the FSG statement was to maybe protect the image of the club, knowing, now people know that we've been putting sales decks together and shopping around for the best man or woman, but do you think that FSG statement after the Ornstein one has maybe come out to defend themselves and say, actually,
I think the purpose,
what is it for, that statement?
The purpose that is saved in this situation is genuinely only seems to me confusion. I think that in a desperate position where they know the fans in the short term are going to be pushing them to spend, I think they are coming out with a plea for investors because they know they can't spend the money themselves. And yes, you're right, they do have the money. The interesting thing I learned when I was on door to door, right, is people with high outgoings are actually just as skint as people who live in rows of houses because their outgoings are much higher than what
more money, more problems.
More money, more problems.
Exactly.
So the thing about FSG is they haven't just got a nice house, they haven't just got a lovely car, they haven't just got a family to provide for, but this family expects like the luxurious lifestyle. It all complements each other based on the fact that they've got other businesses and ventures, like other clubs and things that they want to buy. And over in America, they've got other projects. That's why they have saw an opportunity to get Liverpool out of the shit, get it for 300 million.
300 million
at the time.
300 million
at the time. 2010.
Saw a big opportunity, even if it was just a little bit of profit. Make a little bit of profit. If we go even further, then even better. And if that then goes well, brilliant. But the thing that I've noticed is they've maximised everything they can do with Liverpool. They know they're probably not going to get another Jurgen Klopp after Jurgen leaves. And therefore, getting bigger investors would make a hell of a lot more sense because then you can go out and spend in the January, then people aren't getting on FSG because maybe they just can't spend because they've got to put money into other ventures and stuff like that. So because of the financial fair play stuff, something that's been developed for years and something they would have noticed, it's like, okay, well, now that we've got financial fair play, we can just use what the club makes, put that back into the club, not use any more than that and make the club sustainable that way. Brilliant. Now they've done that job. But now we want to kick on. So if we want to kick on, bring in new investors and it's got to be the right one. So I suppose you can actually praise FSG from a point that they're looking to find methods to improve the situation of where we can invest more. The only thing is that they've been saying that they're going to do that. They've been talking about getting new shareholders involved with the club. This has been a thing that's been going for years, and they're making it out like it's new news. So it comes out, they want to put the club up for sale, and then they come out to go against that statement and say, no, we'll still remain committed to the football club, which is something we already
until
knew.
we sell it.
Till
basically.
we sell it. So it's like, but we already knew that.
Yeah.
So like you said, very contradicting, but
You've summed it up really well there, Jay, I think.
Do you think that they selling the club for? I think the biggest reason is because of the European Super League, because they wanted the European Super League to make more money. So we didn't get it.
Very good shout. I didn't think of that.
No, this is important point.
Because they were very for that.
They were like, we want to do it. Them and the supporters, everyone, of course.
Yeah.
We know the situation with the Super League. Yeah. Probably that's one of the reasons that they want to sell the club.
Just quickly go through this super chat. Amazing comments. Really is dividing opinion here. Bertro12, thank you so much for the super chat. If you want to send in a comment that definitely 100% gets read out, then make sure it's a super chat if you can afford to. He says, in 10 years, majority of top clubs will be owned by the super rich. Think it's just keeping with the time, in my opinion. Love the channel. Big up to you.
That's true.
It's so true. Like,
that's
what
true.
People need to realise is, okay, so even if we don't get these owners that don't align with the football club and whatnot, fair, but then you're not competing at the top level. So it just depends what you want for your football club. And to be honest, do you
know what? You say that, and Shawnee Lawson, who's been on the podcast before, big up to
like
you.
Shawnee.
Yes, Sean.
He says, look, if Liverpool winning trophies, will anyone be asked, really?
No one will give a fuck. That's why City fans don't give a fuck. Newcastle don't give a fuck about their situation, because they know, as long as I'm seeing good stuff on the pitch, it's all la-di-da-di do. Like, Mike Ashley, although a bellend, has probably done less worse shit than the current owners that they've got. But who do they hate more? They hate Mike Ashley more. Now, whether that's right or wrong, it's fine.
Careful what you wish for, innit?
Because they care about the on-the-pitch stuff, as most football fans do. So unless you go to every game sitting in the stands thinking, I'm so happy we're 10th, but at least we've got culture, at least we've got everything there, then fine, you're going to enjoy football the same way. But most football fans don't. They think, how can we win this game of football? How can we win this league title? How can we win this cup competition?
James, imagine how weird it is for the Newcastle supporters from the name of the stadium, from St. James's Park to Sports Direct Arena.
You just wouldn't be able to get away with that.
I think this is the worst part of the football. I think if you want to buy us, okay, no problem. Invest money, but leave the names of the stadium, of the stands, and everything.
But again, Mario, like, as you're not a businessman or not a businessman, but you just don't realise how much money that'll make them by changing it from Anfield to, like what you said before, like the Emirates Stadium.
Yeah, wherever,
like literally any.
Which is it's horrible. It's gonna be.
It's a big shame. It's just that's how money's made, my brother. It's like Barcelona Camp.
I'm not agree with that.
Isn't it the Spotify Camp Nou?
It is now.
Yeah.
How much more money can that make you, by the way?
A lot more money.
Just change the name of the stadium. It makes you a lot more.
I don't care.
Because
if you want to bring money
in a package, one sec, Mario, that's associated in a package the same way us YouTubers will put in a package what we can offer. It's the same way there. So it's like, okay, what we can give you is obviously shirt sponsorship. We can give you, like, the way they're doing, like, when a new album or something comes out, they'll put it on the front of the shirt. We can do that. And we can put it on the stadium. So whenever someone's coming to the stadium, we'll call it the Spotify Camp.
You know what?
Spotify then say, okay, then that's worth the extra zero. Here you go. An extra zero that Barcelona very much needed. So although it goes against football morally, on a business sense, Mario, whether you like it or you don't, my friends, it makes money and it adds zeros. And
but we're going to protest against that, definitely. Spirit of Shankly, they're not going to stay like this.
No, it's not going to change.
It's not going to change for Anfield, that's for sure.
No, listen, it's all true. I mean, Old Trafford could do with a new name. Cold Trafford, Mold Trafford, if anything.
That's shit.
The best one is Old Trashford.
Yeah, Old Trashford. Love to see it. Apparently a Norway consortium wants us, but there we go. Listen, we've got to move on because we've got other stuff to talk about, but keep the chat going on in the comments. We want to still see it.
Smash a like as well.
Smash that like. Smash, don't call them fools, but smash the like. They're beautiful people, all of them. Right. The Brazil World Cup squad came out yesterday. Right, let's talk about Mane then Brazil. So privately, and we're seeing this now from Football Insider, privately, it has been reported that Sadio Mane has privately admitted to his friends that he misses Liverpool and the Premier League. They obviously drew PSG in the Champions League yesterday, did Bayern. And I think once you've been somewhere 4, 6 or 7 years, you are going to miss it. You know, all your family, your friends, your old football teams there. Yeah. And yes, we miss him. How many times have you been on a stream or have you spoke to someone or I spoke to someone and they go, I tell you what though, mate, you don't half miss Mane.
Every day.
We know that.
It's
Thank
every
you.
day.
But he misses us as well. So hold that.
Do you know what, lads?
James, how's your thoughts on this one.
I think people are going to misconstrue that to think like, oh, I miss Liverpool, I want to come back.
Yeah.
Especially because it's been a bit of a difficult start at his time at Bayern. It's good results on the pitch for the team, but a lot of Bayern fans aren't happy with the performances he's been putting in. So the way I sort of see it is he doesn't want to come back to Liverpool. A lot of what Manny has said before is, language barrier, and it's being taken out of context, right? And even though that's the case, I think in this one, he's just saying he misses Liverpool. He loves the club, lads. And anyone who thought otherwise, just because he wanted a new challenge, are absolute donuts. This emphasises it all the more. I think he came out, he misses us. I don't think it means he wants to come back to us. And even if he wanted to, I don't think that would be possible. I don't think you're going to do that because it's not something that he's been doing before. It's the Coutinho situation all over again. Yeah. What I do pray for is just that he's buzzing there, mate. I hope that he misses us, but he's happy there. He's happy with his next stage of life. It's like, if Mario goes on the Italian Sky Sports and fucks us off, I'll be devoted that he won't be talking like that. He won't be on our show no more.
Soon come.
But I'll be fucking buzzing with him. That he's going to be there, Sky Sports, fucking chow, speaking to everyone, lads, having a belter. You know what I mean? No, lads, Mario and I open up for you.
I love it. Brilliant.
It will.
No, listen, it's a great analogy, I think. Hopefully don't do that to us. To be fair, you already do that for Sky Sports.
I've been to Sky to Rai. Yeah, like regularly.
If they made you an offer, you can't refuse. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But yeah, big up to Sadio, everyone in the comments.
What do you think about it? Like, do you know when people talk about missing Sadio Mane and the importance that he has to the team? If he was in this team, how much better do you think he makes us?
Instantly better. Instantly.
Absolutely.
In pretty much every way. No, in terms of on the pitch, but off the pitch as well. I think in every way, he's just a god, and I love that man.
Do you think Salah misses him?
Yeah,
yes.
I think Salah misses him.
But he is starting this new Darwin thing on a good foot. I think
as close with
never be as close.
On the pitch, they can have good chemistry, but I'm saying he'll never.
Did you see against Tottenham?
No, against Napoli. The conversation after the second goal.
This is unreal.
And Mohamed Salah was saying something to Darwin Núñez. He said, "What are you talking about?" But
I
he
don't
didn't say nothing.
you.
He made just the face like.
Mo was going.
I think one of the reasons of the reasons of the Darwin Núñez, like he needs to assess, he needs to learn the English language.
Boys.
He needs to learn the language.
No, do you know what, boys?
Admit
I'm ready
now.
to open the lids on just accepting that he hasn't got like any technical ability,
But still loving him.
But I love him though, lads.
Yeah.
I love his work rate.
Glad you
I
said
love his
that.
defensive work rate. I love his attitude. I just think he's a funny fella. Like, do you know what as well? Do you know whenever you go to Anfield or you're watching on the telly, he's the one you're watching. Like, for some reason, he's just got that X factor. Same way you watch City and you look at Haaland. That's how I feel when I watch Liverpool. I'm looking at Núñez. Where's Núñez? It used to be Salah, whereas now every game I'm just like,
do you know what,
what's
Jay?
Núñez doing?
We saw a new Núñez on the left, and I quite like that.
I like that.
No. I wouldn't do that every
I
game.
like it.
I like
My best
it.
performance
Because
is
then
when
it's-
Núñez has been down the middle.
Because then it's goals
And he
and
was coming up
assists.
against Emerson Royale, really shaky defense.
He was awful,
Tottenham
to
was
be
making
fair.
loads of mistakes to give Núñez those chances. Believe me, boys, I'm getting on the Núñez train, not Núñez on the left. Not.
All right. Well, as long as you're on the train,
game.
as long as you're on the train.
train.
Fuck Avanti West Coast, by the way, if you're watching. Yeah, talking about trains.
Why?
Fuck Avanti West Coast. Yeah.
Why, This is so
I'll
funny.
tell you after, man.
Okay.
I'll tell you after.
This is
Yeah.
this is hilarious.
It was why I was almost late today from London. Fuck you, Avanti West Coast. Hold that. This trains are shit as well. Get some
That
new
was
trains.
brilliant.
Get some new trains as well.
That is funny, that.
Anyway,
Same passion like Núñez, lads. I
let's
love
talk
that.
about one of our current strikers, the Brazil World Cup squad. Now, two ways to look at this, Jay and Mario, right? When this came out yesterday, I'm not Brazilian. I don't really necessarily want Brazil to win the World Cup. I don't care who wins the World Cup, if I'm honest. But when I saw this list, I almost felt as if I was Bobby Firmino reading the list because I was going, where am I? Richarlison, Anthony, Rafinha, Jesus, Martinelli, Neymar. Where am I? So I felt like I was him. Now, if we get this picture up here on the screen there, Jacob, we can see this beautiful stat. No, just for us, please. Not that one, the other one that I sent. There we go. So, and again, I feel like I am Firmino, so I will stick up for him, even though if he doesn't go to the World Cup, brilliant bonus for Liverpool,
Yeah, man.
stays fit. But because I feel like I am him in this moment, let me just give you some stats, right? And all the other people that I'm about to mention have gone to the World Cup. Brazilian Premier League centre forwards. I think there was 11 Premier League Brazilians that have gone. Anthony, 6 games, 3 goals. Richarlison, 9 games, 0 goals, you pigeon mess. Martinelli, 13 games, 5 goals, 2 assists. Jesus, 13 games, 5 goals, 5 assists. That is good. Bobby Firmino, 12 games, 6 goals, 3 assists. That's the best out of all of them there. And he didn't go.
Doesn't matter.
But for him, are you not guided for him?
Oh, of course,
you saw in all the videos.
But just because of stats doesn't mean he deserves it.
But I think he massively deserves that over Richarlison, bro.
No, even Richarlison. No, I think whenever he plays for Brazil, he does have a good performance.
But Richarlison doesn't deserve to be there.
He does.
I think.
Really?
He does.
No,
he's a sampler. I think that he's overrated. I think when people call him really good, I think they're wrong.
9 games, 0 goals in the Premier League. 0 goals.
About Richarlison. Again, no, Mario, like he's got outlets.
He's a striker.
He's not an outlet, though, Mario.
He's a striker.
So why is he in the squad then?
He's
He's not an outlet and he's a striker.
He's never been an out goal scorer. That's not his job. Same with Firmino, not an out and out goal scorer. So to use numbers as the argument of why he should be in the Brazilian team is ludicrous to me. Gabriel Jesus deserves to be above him.
He deserves it.
Definitely Martinelli, definitely. Yeah.
I think the Arsenal players there do have a shout.
Anthony,
I think Anthony, honestly, I think Anthony, again, like different position, so it's pretty hard to compare him and Firmino. I think the ones you should compare there is the ones down the middle, and I think it's not a bad shout to put Richarlison above Firmino. I really don't.
No, I can't agree with that one.
When I saw yesterday the list of the 25 players, and I was impressed about that they had 10 strikers. 10 strikers in the list, mate.
How are you getting them on the plane, let alone
10
in
strikers.
the squad?
And you left Firmino out.
Brazil. Maybe that's why Firmino hasn't went.
And you left
There's
Firmino
that
out.
way to look at it, but he, in my opinion, he should have been there. But anyway,
I think you have just got your Liverpool caps on, and you.
No,
really
I've got my Bobby
Firmino
Firmino hat on because I saw all these videos from Anthony and Richarlison with their families going like this, waiting to hear their name. I wanted that for Bobby. As a Liverpool fan, it's good news for us.
I'm happy as a Liverpool fan.
Yeah. Big up to Athos Harbour in the comments. Ciao, the Kop TV. Happy that Roberto Firmino is not going to the World Cup. As for the years of not getting a rest, I can see him having a great second half to the season.
Hey, chat. By the way, I want to emphasise, I'm not saying Richarlison's better than Firmino, but in recent times, I don't think it's a bad shout to say that they're close in terms of like the quality that they've shown on the pitch for their respective teams. And just because Firmino's had a resurgence this season, what was he doing the last couple of years to earn that shot in the Brazil squad? Anthony was doing it for Ajax.
He's been getting picked.
Jesus been doing it for both Man City and Arsenal.
But this season, Bobby's great.
He's done it for Arsenal. This season, Bobby's been better. He's been great for us, a team who's lounging in 8th place. Is he good enough to win Brazil a World Cup? Is a very alternative
Danny
question.
Alves, 39-year-old.
This is ridiculous.
Is Danny Alves still
This
going?
is
39, bro.
This is ridiculous, mate.
Go with it, son.
Ridiculous.
I told expressions that Danny Alves still starts above Emerson Royale. Nah, but again, different positions. I think in the striker position to not bring Firmino is a shout. Chat, do you disagree with me? Because I want someone to argue.
It's very divided in the chat.
What are they all saying?
Nick Saunders says Richarlison, 17 goals in 38 games for Brazil. James, that's criminal, says Sean Power.
But why though, Sean? Why? You can say criminal.
He says Richarlison shouldn't be going over Bobby.
Why?
Just before we end up, let's have a quick chat about Derby tomorrow night. Is this a time when we see the Ben Doaks, the Stefan Bajetiches? Do we see? Well,
your favourite player.
Yeah, I like him.
I love him.
James, who are we going to see that we might not know / have seen play before tomorrow night? You going? You got a ticket, yeah?
No, I haven't got a ticket.
I've got a ticket for you.
I'm going to find a ticket for you if you want.
Easy.
Yeah, please. What's it called? So the game tomorrow, who can we see? Very excited to see multiple different players, to be honest. I'm excited to see a more leader first team role from the players like Carvalho and Harvey Elliott, because if they're going to be starting, the game. It's likely going to play the 90 minutes because you're going to want to rest some of the first teamers. And again, good opportunity for them to step up. Bajcetic is someone who I'm very excited to see, and I hope we get to see in the holding midfield, because a good performance can influence Klopp in a massive way if Bajcetic puts it in. But the player that I'm most excited for is Calvin Ramsey. I think that's going to be
got to start tomorrow.
He will.
Great shout,
be a really good opportunity to see what he can actually do for us and how much he can push Trent to us. Because if he just shows quality in this game, shows a few good crosses and good technical ability, the same way he done when he came on against Napoli, I think this can be a really, really good chance for Calvin to step up to the plate. But in terms of other players like Bobby Clark, other players as well, like there's a few.
Because we still need to win the game. We're the reigning champions of the cup. Kelleher in goal, and who's the captain tomorrow night?
Kelleher in goal. It's a good question. I don't know, mate.
Depends who's like the senior player who starts.
I wanna see some surprise
from the. If so, then he'll be in.
Probably.
He's injured, isn't
Is he? Oh,
He's
he's
injured
injured. Then no.
I want to see like
Napoli.
a surprise, someone we never see on the pitch, like Mateusz Musialowski, the Polish
goalkeeper.
fella, 17, 18 years old, and Oakley Cannonier, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
The ball boy from
Trent.
ball boy from Trent.
He's on fire.
He's
this
on
season,
fire.
bro.
He scored 40 goals this season. 40, lad. 40.
No, he's unbelievable.
Oakley.
Probably
He had a great season
Oakley
last year.
Cannonier.
He watches the Kop TV, you know.
Seriously.
Yeah. Big
So
up to
don't give him a
Oakley,
chance. I mean, it's Klopp knows, but like put him like the last 20 minutes or something like that. Probably he's a good player and he's gonna help us for the rest of the season. Who knows?
Lads,
Probably
he's a
he's
sick
gonna be
player.
the new Michael Owen. Why not?
Who knows?
He's
Who
a
knows?
sick player.
Kelleher,
give him a chance.
Ramsey, Gomez, Phillips, Simicast, Bacetic, Jones, Hendo, Salah, Nunez, Carvalho, Hansen,
No,
Morrison
Salah
says.
Salah Nunes on
needs
the
a
bench.
rest.
I'd
Therefore,
say, yeah, agree.
Salah Nunes. Musialowski, probably, definitely Ramsey on the right.
Do you know
Definitely
what I wish
Ramsey.
was fit? I wish Kate Gordon was fit. I'd love to give him a go.
What's happened
Is he
with
still
Gordon?
injured?
He's injured at the moment. Yeah, I think he's.
He
got a
disappeared
season
from the
long
first team?
injury. What?
Gordon, he disappears. Why?
Because he's injured.
Oh, I didn't
Got a
know.
long
So
term
that's
injury.
tomorrow night, Wednesday night. We're going to be doing the fan cams outside Anfield for that. As usual, you know what? In the Kop TV history, we have never missed a game outside Anfield. I think that deserves a round of applause. In 3 years. By the way, we're coming up to our 3-year anniversary.
Olé.
January the 4th is our 3-year anniversary, by the way, guys. So it's coming up. Southampton on Saturday as well. Anfield don't technically have a manager at the minute after sacking Hassan Hutel. We have to win that game. Obviously, it needs to be a good 3 or 4-0, I think, and then we go into the World Cup. No Naby as he's injured again. Of course he is. He always is.
Who?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Liverpool number 8. Oh my goodness.
But there you go. Keep the chat going on in the comments. We're obviously live, but keep the comments rolling in. Obviously, go check out Flux as well. You can see us all wearing it today. Big up to
100%.
Flux each and every time. We'll be back next week on Hot Kopics, but in between that, we're going to do a preview on Friday for the Southampton game with a lot more great content to come. James is yawning, which probably means it's time to wrap up the show. Oh, sorry. My bad.
Dancing. I'm pulling stupid
But there you
faces.
go. It's been a great show. Everyone in the comments has really contributed a lot today. And that's one of the main things that we want to try and introduce more to the show. It's what hot topics do you want us to speak about? It's really important that you send in your ideas of what you want us to chat about. So brilliant show. Thank you very much, Mario, as always.
Thanks to you,
my
brother.
James Remondinhos. I'm losing my voice. And there you go. Take care. We'll see you soon. Follow, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff to the Kop TV. Take care.
Thanks for
Namaste.
watching the video, guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stands, for a lot more Liverpool content.
Remember to check out our Shopify store for this beauty and much more. It's the new Luchito's Way Diaz t-shirt based on Luis Diaz and Carlito's Way. It's out now, designed by Ruby.
And there's going to be so many more.
There is. Make sure you're involved. Go and buy this now and use the Kop TV 15 for a little discount if you want.